I guess I've got to start with this opening scene, because this involves both of you.
Right.
That's a fucked up way to introduce a character. Where did this come from? Was this always part of the script?
No, well, when I started writing it was, yeah. I mean, you're staring at that blinking cursor and you say to yourself, how do you invest people into the film very quickly and make them understand that this is going to be a film unlike anything they've seen, because we aren't opening with the protagonist, we're opening with the antagonist, and that will come back around, and every time that you see him, there's a sense of menace and unpredictability about what he might do, and it's a bit of an homage to Jaws as well. When the shark is first introduced and he's hovering throughout the entire narrative, that's
nice.
Essentially how I approached it with Woody.
What's the first image you see? Is it on the screen?
Yeah, just up high, and then I start booming down.
Right. So the very first image of the movie is another movie.
Correct. By a Japanese director, and then
Right.
you come down and you kind of orient and get your bearings, and we push in, and his door opens, and he vomits, and then I come back around, and I don't introduce Woody first. I introduce the actress, who's incredible, who's playing that part, and then we hear him, and then I come back around, and there's an American institution.
And Woody, man, dude, you're one of the nicest guys ever, and you're playing this despicable, horrible. Do you take that, and how do you play with that? What is it about that character that draws you to it?
Well, it's nice to have a safe platform to be that kind of guy, as opposed to, just getting
really
upset
being
with paparazzi or something.
Right.
So, I read the script. I thought it was phenomenal. The part I found a little bit daunting, but I was excited to jump into it because I felt like, this is a truly great director here and a great writer, and I just got to trust that he's going to not let me, go the wrong way with this.
I don't think it's too much of a villain. There's not the twirling of the mustache. It's a very realistic villain.
Well, he won't allow any of that shit. I mean, if you try doing something that's fake, he will immediately pare it out. He doesn't allow that. You can see, that's one of the beautiful things about his films. Every moment is true. There's nothing, no fakery, whatever. I love that about him, He really bears right down into the truth of something.
I also got to say, without spoiling, it's hard to talk about, but I love the ending because I felt like it was going to go somewhere, and I thought, oh no, it's going to go into typical action. No, you didn't. You went very lyrical.
Well, T.S. Eliot's Wasteland, we don't go out with a bang, but we go out with a whimper, right? Because you're expecting something, expecting spectacle, and you always want to subvert expectations but pay homage to a certain era of filmmaking, the 1970s, that very much influenced me. But I wanted this to be about two men who have suffered a great deal of loss. He must have suffered loss as a backstory and character, or why does he become who he's become? And we know what Christian Bale's character has suffered. And these two men in a field alone, and having a very human discussion, one of the few human moments that Woody's character has in the movie. And then the final image of a man who is battling his soul and a man who is living with the consequences of violence for the rest of his life.